Alright, on today's video, we've got something new in from Cobra Arms, and that is the Ruger RXM. Now, I know you're sitting there saying, great, another Ruger RXM video, and I know there are hundreds of videos out on this gun, but this gun is so hyped up right now, I wanted to check it out for myself and test one out on the channel. Now, we are going to do something a little bit different today in this video. We will go over to the other bench. I'll show you everything that comes in the box. I know a lot of you have already seen that. But what I'd really like to do today is kind of dive into some stuff that really isn't being shown in a lot of the videos that I've already watched. I really want to get into the optic mounting system on this. So we're going to take the plate off. I've got some RMSC footprint dots, RMR footprint, some enclosed emitter dots. We're just going to kind of look and see what a variety of different dots look like on this pistol. The other thing that I want to do is get the fire control unit out of this, the FCU. I don't know what they're calling it, but I want to get that out and kind of look it over. And the last thing I want to do, since I have quite a few Gen 3 clones that I've put together over the years, is test out some different slides and barrels on the Magpul frame that comes with the Ruger RXM. So we're going to try out some dagger slides. We've got the Kiger slide, and we've got some threaded barrels and non-threaded barrels. I just want to keep this video fun and do something just a little bit different than what we've seen in a lot of the other videos on this gun. All right, here we go. Let's see what all comes in the box. Let's start up here at the top. So we got a foam insert. We got the owner's manual. Looks like it's pretty detailed. Got a Ruger 75th anniversary sticker, another Ruger sticker, and looks like probably a warranty card, a registration card. That's everything in the top. Alright, now down here in the bottom, we've got this plastic molded insert. This does lift out. We got a Torx wrench here with 4 screws. Got our lock that comes with every gun. We've got a 15 round Magpul PMag. Then we have the RXM. This also has a 15 round PMag in it. So you do get 2 mags with the gun. Let's go ahead and check this real quick. We're going to make sure it's clear. There is no mag, nothing in the chamber. And there is our Ruger RXM. Alright, let's dive right into this Ruger RXM. So this is a collaboration between Magpul and Ruger. Ruger obviously makes the slide, and Magpul is making the frame for this. So you've got the gray frame with the black slide, and obviously Magpul will end up coming out with a black frame and the OD green and FDE. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the specs on this RXM because there are so many videos out on this already, but I will roll the specs in on the screen and you can pause it and check it out. Now, the Ruger RXM is based off of the Glock Gen 3 platform, so obviously a lot of Glock Gen 3 parts and accessories are going to work on this. Alright, so let's start off here at the top and just work our way down. We'll go over all the features on this gun, and we'll talk about the things that I like about it and things that I dislike. So obviously it is optics ready, but one thing that I do like already are the sights that come on this gun. So we do have a serrated, blacked out rear sight, but up here in the front, you've got a white dot with a tritium insert in it. And I can tell you right now, I really like the backup sights on this. And the reason I'm calling them backup sights is because I'll obviously be putting an optic on this. And yes, they are not plastic sights like Glock. This is a metal rear sight. Now we do have the notched barrel hood for a chamber viewing window. Now the slide has got some really nice serrations here on the front and on the back, and they feel really good. So if you're going to rack this from the front, got a nice set of serrations to grab a hold of, and the same back here on the rear. Now we'll move down to the frame. We do have an accessory rail out here on the front for mounting lights and lasers, and we will test out a few different lights on this in this video. We'll move back, and this is something that I really like to see. We do have a place for your thumb, so we have a memory pad here, thumb ledge, gas pedal, whatever you want to call it, and they do have some nice stippling in there, and obviously we have that on both sides. Now we'll move back here and we have our typical Gen 3 Glock takedown lever. Now we move back here and we've got a cutout with the serial number exposed on the fire control unit, and we will be taking this out and going over that here in a few. Then we'll move on down the frame. So we've got some really nice texturing right here. This feels really good actually. You got the same texturing here on the back, and we also have that texturing on the front. We do have a little bit of a built-in mag well right here. And being a left-handed shooter, one of the things that I hate about the Gen 3 platform, you do have your slide stop lever, slide lock, slide release, whatever you want to call it, right here. But you will not have it on this side. And our magazine release, it actually feels really good. But same deal, it is not reversible because it is Gen 3 platform. So you will be stuck with your mag release on this side. Now let's talk about the trigger guard on this. So the trigger guard is pretty decent size. Should not have any issue wearing gloves while shooting this. We do have a little bit of an undercut right here. And then if you look right here on the frame, this does recess in a little bit. So it feels pretty good in the hand. Now I've got very big hands, so Glock 19 style guns do not fit my hand real well. That's why normally with all my SCT frames, I always put a mag well on them, just so my pinky's not hanging off like it is on this one. Now one thing that I've noticed when I grip down on this gun is it's a little bit uncomfortable right here. So I would have liked to seen them make this undercut just a little bit deeper on here. But all in all, it doesn't feel too bad. Alright, so let's test out our slide stop, slide lock here. So right-handed shooter, obviously you're going to be using your thumb. Oh, that's nice and smooth. Got some really nice texturing right there too. Now, I'm left-handed, so let's see how smooth it is using my trigger finger. Not bad at all. Alright, now we're going to take one of our empty P-mags, and let's see how easy these drop out. Oh, nice. Yeah, I really like that mag release they're using on this. No issues there. Drop out nice and free. Very smooth on the insert. Alright, I'm going to show you that this gun is clear. There's no mag, nothing in the chamber, because we're going to talk about the trigger. And I can already tell you that I do not much care for the trigger on this. So it is somewhat of a flat trigger. You do have a trigger safety, or dingus, whatever you want to call it. So we're going to start taking up on the trigger, and it feels like you're right there where it's ready to break, but then there's some more creep, and a little more creep, and a lot of creep, and then a break. Now the reset, it's not too bad, and then the break. So I'm not a big fan of the trigger. I went ahead and got our Wheeler trigger pull scale. Let's see what this thing is breaking at. All right, we broke right under 5 pounds. Let's do it one more time. Right under 5 pounds. So it's got a consistent 4 3/4, 5 pound trigger pull. It's definitely not a very good trigger. So hopefully we'll start seeing some aftermarket triggers to put in the fire control unit. Alright, I went ahead and removed the slide off camera from the frame because I just don't want to deal with YouTube. But I want to show you what the inside of the frame looks like. Alright, now obviously on YouTube I can't show you how to take the fire control unit out of this, but it pretty much breaks down like any Gen 3 Glock. You got a pin right here you're going to have to knock out. I've already taken it out. You're going to have to depress your takedown spring right here and then drop your takedown lever out. And the only different thing here is you got another pin up here in the front, and you can only punch it out from one side. So you're going to punch it this direction, and as you can see, I've got everything out, and the fire control unit is ready to lift out of the frame. All right, we got the FCU out of the frame. I just wanted to show you what this looks like. There is the inside. We'll flip it over. There is the bottom. Now, if we look right here, we do have a pin that holds this trigger in, and it is removable because I can get it to move left and right. So I'm sure we're going to be seeing some upgrades for this FCU. All right, now we're going to start talking about the optic mounting system on this. And as you can see, we have the ability to mount a lot of different optics with different footprints. Now, you can mount any dot with the RMR footprint. You can also mount any dot with the RMSC footprint. And you can also mount a dot that has the Delta Point footprint. Now, one thing I do want to let you know, you cannot mount an optic with the Vortex Doctor footprint. This red dot is from Monstrum. It does have that Vortex Doctor footprint, and as you can see, it will not work on here. And I can also tell you that I did try to put the Vortex Viper on here, and it will not work. Now, at the beginning of the video, I showed you this bag when we were doing the unboxing, and this has a Torx wrench in it and what they call 4 locator pins. Now, I'm not going to take these out right now and put them in until I figure out what dot I'm going to mount on this slide to do the review. But basically, what those locator pins are going to do, you're going to either use these 2 holes and these 2 holes here in the front. You also have a place to put 2 in the back. And what those locator pins are for these holes here on this Holosun 507C. So if you were to use this Holosun, you are going to put 2 of these locator pins in, clear out here on the far ends. So when you set your Holosun 507C on here, that's going to keep that from moving back and forth. And then you will just install your mounting screws. So this is what the slide's going to look like with a Holosun 507C on it, or any other optic that has the RMR footprint. All right, now we have the Gideon Optics Judge on the slide, and this has the RMSC footprint. So this will give you an idea of what a micro dot is going to look like on the slide. And last but not least, if you want to put a big mailbox optic on your RXM, you can also do that. This is the Gideon Optics Mediator. But as you can see, this is going to sit pretty high due to the fact that you have to use an RMR to acro adapter plate. And when you do this, you are going to lose the ability to co-witness your iron sights. All right, now let's talk about barrels. So this is the barrel that comes in the RXM, and obviously this is not a threaded barrel. So let's say you want to run a threaded barrel so you can use a comp or a suppressor. Well, this is a barrel from PSA. This is for the Dagger. And as you can see, this barrel will work just fine with the RXM slide, and I am using the RXM guide rod and spring. Check our reset. So it is fully functioning with a PSA Dagger barrel in it. So now let's say you have a few Glock Gen 3 clone slides laying around. This slide is for the PSA Dagger, and you can put this on the Ruger RXM Magpul frame. Trigger works fine. Reset. Now the last slide I'm going to show you on this frame is my slide off of my Kiger 9C Pro, and the reason I'm showing you this is so you can see what it looks like with the Mass Driver comp. Now I am not going to take this comp off this slide and put it on the RXM slide, but I have already seen a few guys that are running the Mass Driver comp with the RXM slide. So I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what it will look like, because the RXM does not come with a threaded barrel, and you do not need a threaded barrel to run the Strike Industries Gen 3 mass driver. All right, now let's talk about different lights that you can run on your RXM. This is the Streamlight TLR1 HL, and yes, it does fit the Magpul frame. Obviously, the bezel is hanging out pretty far past the muzzle, but you can use the Streamlight TLR1 HL. Now, maybe you want to run a more compact light. So this is the Streamlight TLR7 HLX. I do have the Glock key in it. Now, if you thought that the Streamlight TLR7 HLX was still a little big for the RXM, you can go really small and go with something like this Nitecore MPL 25. Now, the last thing we're going to talk about are magazines. So obviously this does come with the two 15-round P-mags. And yes, you will be able to use any Glock 19 style mag. You will also be able to use Glock 17 mags. They're going to hang out the bottom a little bit, but you can use them, and you can even use a fun stick with this if you want to. Now, what I wanted to show you was these are my favorite mags. Now, these are factory Glock mags with the Strike Industries EMP extensions on them. And I just wanted to show you what it looks like with the Strike Industries extension, and this is how I will be running the gun. All right, I'm going to give you a little sneak peek of what this is going to look like when we take it out for the range review. I went ahead and put the Gideon Optics Alpha green dot on it and the Streamlight TLR7 HLX. So what are my first impressions with the Ruger RXM? I'm not like blown away by this gun by any means, but I think it's a pretty good gun, especially for the price point. Now, obviously, I have not had it to the range yet, so I can't speak on the reliability of the gun, but I think it's got a lot going for it. I really like that Optic Mounting System, and it's pretty awesome that it has a removable fire control unit, so you're going to be able to put that unit in a lot of different grip modules. So I'm pretty excited to see what the future holds for this RXM. I'm getting ready to head out to SHOT Show here in a few days, and it's going to be pretty interesting to see if there are some companies that have already started to make some grip modules for it, trigger upgrades for the FCU. I think there could be a lot of cool stuff coming in the future for this RXM. So what I would really like to see come out here in the near future is I would love to see Magpul make this frame with a longer grip. So like a 17 size grip on this 19 size frame. Now, I know this video was longer than what you're used to, but I really wanted to dive into the Optic Mounting System, show you that you could use Gen 3 style barrels, Gen 3 style slides, show you what different lights look like on the gun. And those were things that I really wanted to cover in this video. But overall, I think it's going to be a great platform, and I think we're going to see a lot of aftermarket support for this Ruger RXM. Well, stay tuned and be on the lookout for my range review, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.